up, nerds? Free 99 here with a brand new series. There's a game that I've been playing on my phone for quite some time now, since I would say like middle of February, that I've been having such a blast with. I figured I'd share it with you. I'm not entirely sure how popular this is. I haven't really heard anybody talk about it. It's called Once Upon a Galaxy. It's completely free to play. And it's basically a roguelike auto battler drafting game. So when you start a game, you will be given 3 characters to choose from. In this case, we have Dorothy. When you complete a quest, keep an extra treasure. We'll go about quests and what they are like when we get into the actual round or in the actual game. We've got Jay Sparrow, no relations to Jack. Double your hunt abilities. Again, this is a what's the word I'm looking for? Keyword. We'll go through it when we get to the actual game if we do decide to choose them. And then King Arthur. Heroes in your shop have +1/+1. When you golden a character, double this bonus. Again, we'll go into what a golden character is when we get into the actual game. In all honesty, I think Dorothy here is the worst. King Arthur would be mid. I do like Jack Sparrow, or Jay Sparrow, I should say. So we'll go with Jay Sparrow. We'll hit play, and here we have essentially the gameplay. Ahoy! It's Puss in Boots in my favorite feline, Swashbuckler. As his captain, I can double his hunt ability. Yes. So if you click on them again, it'll tell you exactly what they do in case you forgot. So Puss in Boots is a 3/1. The number on the left side is their damage. The number on the right side is their HP. Puss in Boots has hunt. Give my sot +1 attack. And hunt is when Puss in Boots attacks, or whatever character that has hunt attacks, and they KO a character. It doesn't matter if they die along with the character that they're attacking. As long as they attack and KO a character, the hunt will trigger. It will not work if the enemy character attacks Puss in Boots and then the enemy character dies in whatever reason. So because of Jay Sparrow, we should grab any character that has a hunt ability, because they are just doubly as good. As you can see, characters also have other traits other than pirate. Puss in Boots is also a hero. They're also common, and they're also an animal. There are characters in the game, such as Peachy Queen here, who has the recruit ability. Improve the buff from your next Fae you recruit by +1/+1. So somebody like Pix, support +2 health to the characters in front of me. It will instead be +1/+3 to the characters in front of me. Now, what does in front of me mean? As you can see here in our play area, we get a maximum of 5 characters, at least in the sense of like what you are bringing into the fight. There are characters in the game that, like, when they die or when something special happens, they summon another character, but basically you get 5 characters. The back row is more or less your support characters, like Pix, and then the front row are your attackers, kind of like Puss in Boots. Now, between these 3 that we can choose from, I do like the idea of having Daughter of Athena. They have a quest to recruit 3 heroes. As you can see, Puss in Boots is a hero character. So if we can level up Puss in Boots, plus grab a couple of other heroes like Pix here, who is a common Fae hero, they will trigger the quest completion, and then we will get a artifact that is of Daughter of Athena's rarity. So if we complete a quest with, say, a legendary character, then we will get a legendary artifact. That's basically how quests work. And like I said, Daughter Athena has pretty decent stats. Like a 1/3 isn't bad. They can take out both Pix and Peachy Queen just by stat comparison. Pix is also a pretty decent grab. That will make Puss in Boots a 3/3, giving us a better chance to knock out somebody. But I think Daughter Athena is where we're at right now. Then we get into a battle. It's usually 2 shops and then a battle. And the battle will be against, well, okay, so right now it's against computer players, but in the actual game, the battle will be done against actual characters, but it's asymmetric PvP. That means the character that we're fighting isn't actually playing the game. Instead, the game captures a snapshot of like player such as us uploads it into the cloud and then just pulls from a vast assortment of builds that have been done throughout the game's lifespan in order for us to fight against. So as you can see, we won. We can start turn 2. We are still in the common phase. The way that the game usually goes is there's 2 common shops, and then shop number 3 you get upgraded into uncommons, which is green circle, and there's like 2 rounds of that. And then it becomes uncommon, common, uncommon, then rare, then epic, then legendary, and then if you can somehow unlock it, there will also be a like secret rare shop that is like of the highest tier. Obviously the most powerful characters come from that, but getting access to that shop is few and far between. So this is our next shop. We have the Candy Toy Gingerbread House, we've got Jealous Stepsister, and we've got Laser Shark. None of them really go with the hero that we want, but at least Gingerbread House has the Farewell ability to give my neighbors +2 attack. This is neighbors side to side. It doesn't include the angle. So if they die, and let's say we had Daughter of Athena here, we're gonna draft them anyways. If they die and Daughter of Athena is here, it will not pass the 2 attack to Daughter of Athena. They have to be side by side. So this is where the level up system comes in. Daughter of Athena, as you can see, is glowing here because we have drafted them before. The character doesn't necessarily have to be in your team still in order for them to be leveled up into the shop. You could have hit endgame, replaced like all your basic characters, but if they show up again in the shop, they will be 1 tier higher. There is bronze, which is what you see now and what you will mostly see. There is silver, and then there is gold. After gold, it doesn't really get any higher. So as far as you should be aware, that is the highest like base stat and ability that your character will have. Getting a character silver and gold actually comes with other benefits. As you can see, this shop is our second shop, and then we go into a battle. But if you recruit a silver character, you actually get an extra shop as a congratulations for, I guess, RNGing that. We've got Laser Shark, we've got Thorn, and we've got Rose. Rose gives +1 health to characters in shop. So next time we see a bronze Laser Shark, it'll be a 1-2. Whereas Thorns give characters in the shop +1 attack. So if we see Laser Shark again, it will be a 2-1. I prioritize damage more than I prioritize health, because it's better to take out your opponent and both of you get taken out for a draw than it is to like have absolutely no attack, high health, and have no chance of beating over your opponent. So with that in mind, I will grab Thorns here. Everything goes up, and now we get a new fight. We get to fight Anagole. I'm sure I'm butchering that name. Let's get into this. And just like that, like I said, we get a draw. We don't get to lose any hearts, and we get to start turn 3. Turn 3 is where the uncommons come in. So like I said, there is a buff when, well, not a buff. There is extra stats and a added on benefit for getting a character golden. When you draft a golden character, you will get an artifact of that character's rarity. So we have a common Ring of Valor, a common Relic of Antiquity, and a common Ticking Time Top. Ticking Time Top. After you lose 2 fights, transform me to a random treasure of your shop's rarity. This is great if we can hold on to this until our shop turns legendary, and then we can get a free legendary character if we should ever lose. Ring of Antiquity is what I usually go for. Each turn, give +2/+2 to a random slot. So there are 2 ways to buff a character in this game. Well, technically 4. But the first way is to give the buff directly onto a character. So if we had a spell that said, like, give a character +1/+1, that'll give Daughter of Athena +1/+1, making them a 7/6. But the moment you get rid of Daughter of Athena, that buff that you gave to her disappears with the character. The second way to buff a character is to buff their slots. So like Poots and Boots here is a 7/1 because we have triggered their hunt ability twice. So this slot has +4, which means if we put thorns here, that +4 carries over. Usually the tier goes buffing a character has the highest amount of stat buffs because it's technically temporary. It's permanent until you get rid of the character. Buffing a slot has lower values, but because the slot keeps the buff even after that character is gone, that's how they balance it. You get less stats, but the buff is quote unquote a little bit more permanent, if you think of it that way. And then the last buff is something like this, the Ring of Valor, where it's just an aura. It could be a buff coming from an item that you have, or it could be a buff coming from like your captain. So yes, I think I want to go for the Relic of Antiquity. So now each turn, one of our slots get +2/+2, which means every single time something gets buffed, it doesn't matter if we reach endgame and we don't have thorns anymore or Puss in Boots, those buffs stay with us and gets transferred over to our final team. There is a thorn here, and I will draft that to get an extra shop, giving us more choices. Now we've got a red mage. Oh, rage mage. When you cast a spell directly on a character, it doesn't necessarily have to be them. Give it slot +2/+2. That's not bad. Captain Ahab is what I'll probably go for. They do have a hunt of +1/+1. Plus they have a quest. If they hunt the last character of our opponent, we get a free item of uncommon quality. Itsy Bitsy Spider is okay. It's a vanilla animal. We kind of don't care for that. Plus Ahab has like better stats anyways. When you get to the uncommon shop, you do unlock one more thing that you could draft, which are spells. In this case, we could choose you meet in a tavern, get a random character of your shop's rarity. This is one of the ways to actually pull a legendary character, because what you get out of the 3 characters in your shop isn't necessarily of your shop's tier. It could be that tier or less. As example, Itsy Bitsy Spider is a common, even though we're in the uncommon shops. So we're gonna grab Ahab here. I think this is the right play. And then, as you can see up here on the top left, an icon has appeared. I'll show you what that is in a moment. But first, we have to battle King Midas. Ahab goes down right away. It's really annoying. There is no rhyme or reason on who attacks what. From what I have noticed, it's just completely random. So Captain Ahab triggering might not ever actually proc. We've got Katamari here, and we've got Tink. They are both heroes, so that's why Daughter of Athena is glowing as well. If we recruit either of these, then that means their quest will complete, and then we will get a common treasure. And I do like the sound of that. Unfortunately, I don't think I want to add any of these to the team. That's where this new icon has shown up. You can still recruit a character and get benefits from it, but you don't necessarily have to put them on your team. You could put them into the garbage bin. I don't actually know what this is called. I just refer to it as the garbage bin. So we can dump the Katamari here, and then that will still count as quote-unquote recruiting them, and Daughter Athena now procs. We've got another tricking Time Top, which I don't think we will go for. Sailor Spinach is nice if you're in the back foot and you need like buffed up characters, because the next 3 characters you recruit have +4/+1. I'll probably go for the Masterwork Scrolls. Your buffs from spells give an additional +2/+2. When you hit endgame and you have a team that you like, chances are you're not going to be drafting any more characters, and you're going to be drafting spells in order to buff whatever synergies you already have. That's where the Masterwork Scroll comes in. You get just a little bit more buff with something like Twinkle Twinkle. It used to do +4/+4 on the next recruited character. Now it does +6/+6. As for these 3, none of them do hunt, but I do know Pan's Shadow does buff face, an additional +1 attack for the rest of the game. That means if we run into a Golden Thorns, it will give +2 attack to the shop instead. 6-2 is also stronger than the 2-1 Gingerbread House that we have, that hasn't even triggered once. I don't think they've triggered once. Maybe they've triggered once and given it to Athena. They definitely hasn't given it to Puss in Boots. This +6 attack is definitely from the slot that they have. So we're gonna go ahead and replace Gingerbread House. And now we have to fight Indiana clones. Unfortunately, I think their stats are a lot bigger than us. So here's where I will explain how the heart system works. As you can see, we lost half a heart there. That is because we took out most of their team. What do I mean by that? Well, if they completely dominate us, which means they have 3, 4, or 5 characters remaining, we will lose exactly 1 heart. If we get them down to 2 or 1 character remaining and then still lose, we will only lose half a heart. When we have half a heart, it doesn't matter if we get dominated the next turn, we can only lose half a heart. It's not like we're going to lose this half and then the next half. So this is a bit of a like buffer. Also, if we can somehow manage to win with half a heart, we'll actually refill the half that we're missing, giving us extra DPS, extra chances on winning. So now we have thorns here. As you can see, it didn't exactly buff them by +1 attack. The thing with golden characters is that most of the time their abilities are stronger. Plus, when you draft them, you do get an artifact that is of their tier to draft from. So so we don't get the free shop like we did with the silver character. Instead, we get a free item instead. So I think I will draft this. Give our shop a bit more attack. And then we have to choose between twin shot. Your characters have +2 attack, so this is like the aura. Our characters will always have 2 attack more than what they should have. Characters in your shop has +2 health. This is more towards endgame, making sure everything that we draft from now on just has bigger stats. And then Ring of Valor, I think it's too niche. I don't think we're going to go full-on heroes. If anything, we're going to go full-on pirates, or at least try to go full-on pirates. Pirates are the ones that usually have the hunt abilities. As example by Captain Ahab, as well as Poots and Boots. But to help that hunt ability, I think we will take the twin shot, just so our characters have even more attack, and that way we can take down enemies. Katamari here is looking good, honestly. They have an ability when they attack, they get +2/+1. That's because of Pan's Shadow. It's supposed to be +1/+1, but because they are all types, they count towards the Fey buff that Pan's Shadow gives. So I'll take that. 13-4 is better than an 8-2. Plus, if they can attack, that's even better. That gives us another shop. I love Punxsutawney Phil. Or what are they? Punxsutawney Phil. I think it's supposed to be Punxsutawney Phil. The groundhog. But I just realized, again, I've been playing this on my phone. That's Darth Vader in the background. So, huh? And they're dressed in, like, I guess Jedi garb? So, that's kind of funny. I never honestly noticed that. It's not until I've been seeing it on my PC that this reference has come out. Which makes me think that this is the wrong way to pronounce Punxsutawney. It's not like Skywalker or like Luke or something. Or who would it be? Who are other Jedis that would be scared? It wouldn't be Yoda. That's not a Yoda reference. Either way. The reason why I like them is because of their ability. Farewell, if I haven't attacked this fight, summon a copy of me. That means if we put them in the front row and they get attacked, say 3 times and die, they'll just keep reviving. So that's kind of cool. Davy Jones, though, is a hunt character. So they do mesh well with Jay Sparrow here. Plus, they don't even have to hunt in order to give the slot +2/+2. They can just die. And that might be a little better. I'm gonna grab them and replace Daughter of Athena. Just because Daughter of Athena has already serve their purpose. They can't get any stronger here. As for how this will go, you don't really have an ability. We would like you to attack. If we do this, I'm hoping they get attacked. And then our Poots and Boots and Davy Jones can attack. And then Katamari can also get an attack in. That totally works. I'll take that. It sucks that we didn't get our Captain Ahab to trigger. Neither did we get... Well, we got Davy Jones to trigger. Basically, what we want for Davy Jones to do is to hunt and die at the same time. So that it'll buff it twice. And Bunny isn't bad here. Hunt +6/+6. It gives it to them and not the slot. But honestly, +6/+6 is better than a +1 to a slot. So I think we're going to replace Poots and Boots here. We can get another shop by silvering Davy Jones. And then Pyrat gives a slot +2/+1, which is honestly better than Thorn. So I think I'll replace them. And then I'm hoping you get attacked. So maybe it's like this. Let's head into battle. There's an attack. Awesome. Unfortunate. That was fine. And we did win. So we did get to heal a heart. Perfect. Perfect. Ember isn't bad, but I think I'd rather do Abracadabra. Ember has the ability to recruit, give your characters +2/+1. We could put them in the trash here and give all of our characters +2/+1. But Abracadabra gives us a shop full of spells. And I think it's time to grab spells. We got Giant Growth. Give a character +12/+12. It's not bad. We could silver a character. Unfortunately, this will not give us an extra shop. You would have to actually draft a character and make them silver to get the extra shop. If anything, it just gives them the increased stats that they do get when they become silver, plus an additional +3/+3. I don't think any of you are worth turning silver. I think we're gonna bank on Anne Bunny here and give them +12/+12. Our final shop. Honestly, I'm thinking of grabbing Mama Bear. Each fight, give your animals +2/+2. And Bunny is an animal. Pyrat is an animal. Davy Jones just buffed its slots. So they're fine to stay. I don't think Captain Ahab will ever trigger. So we might replace them. And then since Katamari is all types, they also count as an animal. So 4 out of our 5 slots get +2/+2 every turn. And I do like the sound of that. Robin Hood attacks from far away, which is annoying. And Bunny does get a kill there. Davy Jones gets uber buffed thanks to it hunting and dying. And now we start turn 8. Fairy Godmother isn't bad. Lost Woods just re-rolls our shop. It says get a bonus shop, but it also consumes the shop that we have right now. Fairy Godmother. Each fight give your other characters +2/+1, which means not including them, but 4 of our characters, regardless of what they are, will get +2/+1. It's kind of better than giving yourself +2/+1. You can see it as getting +8/+4 in a way. I could also re-roll here. We're in the Epic store, so there are better characters that we can find. Scar is a good one. Hunt +4/+4. When any of your characters hunt, give villains in your shop +4/+4. This is pretty good because A, they're a villain. B, we have 3 characters that hunt. And C, Davy Jones is a villain, so we could start ramping them up as well. Animal Pirate, Animal Pirate. I do like this. And I think we're gonna replace Pyrat with them. Cowardly Lion, I think, is too far. We're in, like, the double digits, and they're still a 9/7. They're never going to survive damage 3 times. This is, like, an early game pick when everybody still has, like, 5 or so attack. Jack in the Box is pretty terrible endgame as well. Farewell, summon a 1/1 Jack. Their stats is just not worth it. Two-Headed Wizard. Recruit the next time you cast a spell, cast it again. When you cast a spell, I get +1, +2, +2. I think this is too late to ramp as well, so I guess we're gonna go all hands on deck. All your characters gain +2, +4, +2. It's only supposed to be +2 attack, but remember, we have the Masterwork scrolls. So this will just make our attack a lot bigger, which means we have a very good chance of knocking things out. Scar unfortunately didn't kill there, so they didn't get to trigger their ability. Mama Bear does get the kill. We take half of their heart because we only have one character left. That's Loch Ness Monster survive to turn 9 and legendary characters like this start appearing in your shop. Yes, as you can see, legendaries can be huge. They can be. And I think I want to grab the Kraken because they're a pirate. Yes, animal pirate villain. So here's where the fun begins. Because I think it's time to get rid of Davy Jones. They're gone, but they're leaving behind a +6/+6, which gives Kraken quite a bit of a boost. We could golden somebody. The problem is the same thing with turning something silver. We don't get the free item. Instead, they just get +3/+3 plus the stats they would have gotten. But I think it's worth it though, because the Dreamer doesn't really do anything. The Dreamer just makes sure when they attack, they'll get a kill. But if something attacks into them, it's whatever attack that they have. Fire-breathing dragon is okay. They have treasure herd, so +1/+1 for each treasure we have. We do have 4 of them, but I think their stats are lackluster this late in the game. Two-headed wizard we passed on before, and we're still going to pass on to them. So let's turn you golden. They're now 37/21, and when they attack, they gain +3/+2. So that's nice. Let's head into the battle. They're trying to take out the Kraken. It's not working. Captain Hook can be annoying. When they hunt and kill something, they revive them. But what makes Kraken amazing is that when they hunt, give all 3 front rows +8/+8. So as long as they can keep hunting, all 3 of our DPS characters can keep getting stronger. I like 2 blind mice. 2 blind mice is one of the best characters in the game. Buff on me are doubled, which includes the buff in the slots. So normally their 15/5 plus the 24/24 becomes what, 39/29? But when you recruit them, they actually become 63/53 because they're getting what, 48/48 from the slot buff. Sparkles here is great, but what would we replace with them is the question. +4 attack to all of our guys, make them more aggressive. Maybe we trade you out for Sparkles? All in all, you get more buff than like a 3/2 if you're able to attack. Unfortunately, they're not an animal, so Mama Bear doesn't give their slot +2/+2. But I think the +8 on the 2 blind mice is more than worth it. Let's get into this. I know I'm explaining a lot, but this is like the tutorial fight, and for those of you who have never played this game, I'm sure you'll appreciate going into this with some knowledge rather than going in blind. So we finished. We got some victories. Free 99s. Jay Sparrow unlocks the busted bot. So we can put this into the starting deck and have a better chance of seeing it when we are doing drafting. We also get a bit of levels, and then we also get a bit of ranking. We are currently in wood tier because this is a brand new account. If we click home here, this is the main screen. One of the reasons why I play this game is because it's not intrusive with its... It doesn't have any ads. Plus, its shop, if you would even want to call it that, is almost invisible. Like, you almost never see the shop getting promoted at all. But this on the far left is the shop. If you wanted to support the developers, you could buy gems. You could unlock characters as well as there's skins in here, I believe. I thought there were skins. Yes, captain's costumes. So you could put Evil Chief Officer in a... shoot, I'm thinking Thanos, but it's not Thanos. It's because they're holding up a glove. This is what Robert Downey Jr. came back. Dr. Doom. Dorothy can be all evil goblin. Merryweather can become Mary Poppins, y'all. But yeah, unless you click on the shop, you will almost never realize that this game has a shop to begin with. There is one instance where the game shop does like kind of creep up a bit, and that's when you hit play for the first time. Well, not for the first time, every single time. Oh, it doesn't show up. Okay, so when you get further into the game, like after you've gotten a couple of levels, I guess, this spot here on the far right will be taken up with a character that you can buy, but there will be a reroll button underneath it, so you can put that character away, get a character that you can actually draft, and then have 3 to draft from. Don't think that because you're a free-to-player, you only get 2 choices. There will be a reroll button underneath. The other thing too is you don't actually need to buy any characters. After every single, I think it's every month or every 2 months, you get all the previous stuff for free. So buying a character in their shop isn't actually quote-unquote buying a character. It's more like being able to get to play them before everybody else, which I think is a nice middle ground of giving people a chance to support you and pay for your stuff, but also not paywalling free-to-players from enjoying your game. Like I said before, Dorothy is, I don't think, that good. King Arthur heroes are all right. They don't really have much synergy with each other. Electric Drake can be really good, especially if we can stack on a bunch of treasures. So I think I'm gonna go with Electric Drake. Yes, their ability does nothing during the early game when you don't have any treasures, but when you pick up stuff like Dragonling here, who have a quest and can get you treasures fast, I think this is a good starting character. Sorry, had to sneeze there. Pluck here isn't bad. It'll give Dragonling more attack, so that way, if the opponent gets to attack first, Dragonling can take out whatever's attacking them and then like hit back maybe. Despicable Smee isn't that great. We don't have pirates right now. And then Slappy, when they're attacked, they gain health, but it's only +1 health. They don't really, what's the word I'm looking for? Ramp into the late game, but it's a pretty good like blocker. I think we're going to take Puck. Head into the battle. Unfortunately, we lost that, so we will lose half a heart here. Turn 2, we can make Dragonling a little bit stronger. Flying Monkey isn't bad. They're able to attack back row. So if our opponent has something like Puck in the back row, Flying Monkey can just take it out and then get rid of the +2 attack buff. Wind Up Toy is a better, that beach ball. When they're attacked, they gain +2 attack. So no matter what, they'll just get stronger and stronger. It's better to have damage than defense in this game. At least that's what I think of. So yeah, I think we're going to draft them. Well, hopefully they'll get attacked once or twice. We'll head into the battle. So there's our first attack. That's why the counter went down by 1. We got a second attack off, which is crazy. We still lost, but we did get further and further into this quest. Gentle Giant isn't bad. They're huge stats, but when we win, it doesn't matter how well we win. We only take out half a heart. That could be worth it. Presence of Gaia gives us slot +2/+2. And like I said in the first game, the slot buffs do carry over. So this is future-proof, whereas Gentle Giant we're going to replace sooner or later. We also have an early Cowardly Lion, which isn't bad. I think I'm going to take Cowardly Lion and put Wind Up Toy in the back. Slappy's here, they're not as great as the Wind Up Toy. Pyrat is better than Flying Monkey, I think. Snowball gets +1/+1 every single time they die. And then the +1/+1 gets improved by 1/1. So the first time they die, they gain +1/+1, so they're a 5/5. The next time they die, they gain +2/+2, so it becomes a 7/7, so on and so forth. It's not bad. It does have ramp, but I'd rather be aggressive. Unfortunately, our dragon died there, but we did get the hunt, which is great. I'll take that. Cowardly Lion did survive that attack, so their count goes down by 1. Here's where the fun begins. Animal is a very strong synergistic typing. As you can see here, Hungry Hydra. Each fight give your animal slots +1 attack. And Baby Bear is the other side of the coin, where each fight give your animal slots +1 health. Again, I like being aggressive. I'm gonna take Hungry Hyena here. I'm hoping Dragonling disappears soon, so we can replace that with an animal. As for this one, I think we're just gonna give Cowardly Lion some attack. That way, when they do get attacked, they'll deal 6 damage. Dragonling gets their final attack, which is great. We've completed that quest. Cowardly Lion survived an attack again. The counter goes down by 1. Okay, here we go. So this used to do +2/+2 to a random slot. Now it's doing 4/3 thanks to our Electrake. Golden Ring only works for golden characters. Lucky Chest. Next treasure you discovered is 1 rarity higher, which means Cowardly Lion's uncommon treasure should be what? Epic? Or no, it'll be rare, which isn't bad. But then we'll have... I'd rather make use of the +2/+1 and get Relic of Antiquity up. The sooner we get this, the more it will buff slots, the stronger we'll get into the endgame. Will-O-Wisp isn't terrible. When they die, the next character we recruit will get +4/+4. But honestly, Lightning Bolt essentially, at least in this point in the game, is essentially a 1-for-1 trade. And I'm gonna take that. Deal 20 damage to an enemy. As you can see, we're still on like single-digit health bars. And our opponents will be as well. So I think I'll take this. 2 Blind Mice is perfect. We can do 2 Blind Mice and replace Dragonling with it. Now it's a 5/1 thanks to the +4 attack from Puck. And then because it's an animal, Hungry Hyena, we'll keep buffing it. So now it's a 7/1. Our Lightning Bolt took out their wind-up toy. And then it is a draw, even though we had sort of a 6th character in the Lightning Bolt. We did squeak out with a draw. That's a little annoying. 3 bags full gives us a treasure of the common variety. Hopefully it'll give stats, and if it... Ooh, Masterwork Scroll is a 4/3 now. Wand of Anger, I think, is the most worthless item in the game. Well, so there's one that's just like Wand of Anger, but it gives +1 health instead of +1 attack. But because we have Electric Drake to buff it, I think it's actually pretty decent. When you cast a spell, give your characters... What it should be is +1 attack. Early game, you're not really gonna use spells. You're more likely gonna try to recruit characters so that you have some sort of board as well as synergy. Mid-game, you're trying to increase that synergy by replacing your shitty characters with better characters. Endgame is usually when you play the most amount of spells. And because of that, you'll get Wand of Anger proccing continuously. Problem is, when you get to endgame and you're in like 50 attack, 50 health, or even like triple digit stats, +1 attack is insignificant. So during the place where this becomes useful, the stats aren't worth it. But if you're able to buff it, I think it becomes even better. So we will take the Wand of Anger. Now we have Ember, Puts in Boots, and Laser Shark. We do have 1 non-animal in the group, so we could replace Laser Shark with Puck. Unfortunately, that will nerf 2 Blind Mice. Instead, I think we're gonna get the Pick a Peck of Peppers. Give a character +3/+3. Your next shop is all characters with that share a type with it. 2 Blind Mice is only animal. So if we use the peppers on 2 Blind Mice, they'll get +6/+6 thanks to their passive. And then our next shop should be all animals. If you choose something like pirate rat or pirate, it'll be a mix of animals and pirates. It could be all three pirates if your luck is bad enough or good enough, depending on what you're trying to build towards. So I think we will buff two blind mice here. They're now a 27-15. Oh, and then the wand of anger triggered, so everybody got +3/+1. That's great. Unfortunately, Cowardly Lion dies here. I don't know if we can buff Cowardly Lion high enough for this. Their health has not been climbing as high as our attack. It's still single digits. I would rather try to golden two blind mice, to be honest. Because, well, if we get there, you'll see. Papa Bear is great. Papa Bear to replace Puck is amazing here. Papa Bear has the ability each fight give your animal slots +4/+4. So it's bigger than Mama Bear, which is bigger than the baby bear or whatever. Mockingbird isn't bad. I do like Mockingbird. Mockingbird can trade Cowardly Lion. Mockingbird has the ability that when they die, they summon a random animal and give it +6/+6 for each of your other animals that were KO'd in this fight. So we would replace Cowardly Lion and then like swap you to the back here, making sure you're one of the last two people to die. We'll get into this fight. I think this will be the end of it. Their stats aren't as big as ours. Yeah, so we just win. We hit finish. We unlocked Underdog for Electric here. We get a couple of levels and we get a couple of ranking. I think there's enough time to do one more run. Sir Galahad is terrible. I hate this. At the start of the game, choose an epic treasure. Get that treasure on turn 7. The problem with this is that a lot of treasures are based on character classes. And you might not pull or draft something that is part of your character class, if that makes any sense. Dorothy could be great. I don't think King Arthur is any good. We're gonna go Dorothy here. Peachy Queen is really nice. We could buff the next Fae, and then if that next Fae is something like Rose or Thorns, that could be really good. We could also go for a quest here and just go villains. Make use of Dorothy's ability. We'll go villains, why not? Ooh, and we get Peachy Queen. So that's a draw, nobody loses health. This is what I'm talking about. Now Rose becomes +1/+2. And then this buff will actually stay, so if we can silver and golden them, in total our store will get like +4/+5? Something like that? No, because it would be 2, 4, +3 would be 7. +5/+7. No, yeah, something like that. +4/+7. So I will draft Rose here, buffing everybody in the shop. Evil Stepmother is a villain, so we can lower that count by 1. Hamstar isn't terrible. When my slot is buffed, give it an additional +1/+1. If we can get like the hyena or the baby bear early, Hamstar can ramp pretty well. But also like Dragonling and Daughter of Athena are quests, which could give us more items. We'll go Dragonling. We'll go Dragonling. Why not? Can you attack first? Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. So that's 1 down. We could do Shadow. They are a villain. Plus, that will buff Rose even more. So then they'll give +2/+2 if we could ever recruit them again. Why did you not go into the... There we go. Peachy Queen. Give another Fae +2/+1. I do like that. I think that's better than getting either of this. Plus, we get one more shop. There's the baby bear I was looking for. If we only took the hamster, which we didn't, I don't want to waste Peachy Queen's ability on Pix. Pix gets overshadowed pretty soon. Mysterious Egg is okay. If we wait a bit longer, we could make it hatch into a legendary. I think we're gonna get Baby Bear. Their stats are bigger than Rose. And then they can ramp like this slot. Or maybe we can make them ramp this slot. We got another attack off, which is great. One more attack and Dragonling will give us 2 items. Hungry Hyena plus the Evil Stepmother buff plus Baby Bear buffing Hungry Hyena. Sounds awesome. We'll take that and replace Peachy Queen. You now trigger, which means bounty contract. We're not really hunting. Gold ring is kind of terrible. We're gonna get the ticking time top. This is the best out of all of them. I guess we'll take the bounty contract. There are quite a few animals that are pirates that have hunt. So that would be the second best. Kill Sunshine gives attack. But then that'll waste the Peachy Fairy buff. I think we're gonna go with Twinkle Twinkle and just ramp the next character that we grab. Hopefully Dragonling will attack first here. Okay, well they still got to attack, so that's great. Their quest is done. Fortifications isn't bad. Your characters have +2 health, so this is the aura I was talking about. All of our characters in our player area will always have +2 health. Quests give treasures 1 rarity higher. This could pair well with Dorothy. So completing we're in the rare shops now. So completing a rare gives us 2 epic treasures that we can draft. I think I'll take that. I'll take this one and then I'll take our fortifications. So now everybody has a little bit more health. Problem is we need to find a quest character. Achilles, I think, is the best here. Goodie bag is nice. Farewell, summon a random common character and give it my stats. This includes the slot buff stats. So then you get the slot buff doubled. Achilles, I think, is better. When they hunt, they give Achilles and our 4 other characters +4/+2. It does buff the enemy when they die, but we do have the bounty contract to work with hunt characters. So I think I'll take that. And the least statted character in here is one of the 2 in the back. We'll get rid of Pan Shadow, I guess. We'll move you up here because you have better stats. And then 2 blind mice is now in. And I think we're going to take that and we're going to replace the Evil Stepmother. Now we need a character to replace Dragonling. And we should be fine. Plus the Achilles buff gets doubled on 2 blind mice. It's honestly one of the best cards in the game. I hinted on this. 2 blind mice just gets better if you can golden them. That's because they become the 3 blind mice. You know, that nursery rhyme that everybody knows. And the buffs on them actually gets tripled. Mama Bear, I think, is the play here to replace Dragonling. And Bunny is nice. It could replace Achilles. And I think we're going to do that. Plus, it is an animal. And I think this is going to be the end of the round. As you can see from the names here, we're still fighting against bots. I guess they want everybody to learn and get used to the game first before they throw them in with actual characters. I'm betting when we leave Wood Tier, we'll get into actual PvPs. But that's all the time that I have for now. Like I said, the game is called Once Upon a Galaxy. As always, I've been Free99. You've all been amazing. I'll catch you next time.